Next up, we've got starting with the story, the journey through narrative-driven design. Lisa Twyman approaches the design scene with a diverse and rich understanding of the industry, its creators, and its clients. But by designing with intuition and integrity, Lisa's projects connect people to their interior environments. Beyond her expertise in spatial curation, Lisa has also crafted a homeware collection which embodies the passion of taking the local and placing it on the global map. Please give Lisa a warm welcome.
Hello everyone, it's nice to be here. Design is more than just surfaced application and curtains and cushions. It is a story well told, and when successful, can influence the way people engage with a space, an object, and ultimately their lives. You have, I'm sure, in your work closely witnessed this environmental influence on our human psyches. So I wish to start with the why. Why is it important to start with the story? Why does the narrative shape the outcome of the project? I didn't start out as an interior designer. I studied for quite a number of years in the psychology and sociology fields until I did a refreshing turn to design. I mention this only to emphasize how grateful I am after this alternative start to be in a relationship with design every day. And that's the way I view design, as a flowing, congruent relationship between a person and a space. Just like the words on a page in a book, design can change a person's mood, or indeed their worldview. Objects, buildings, spaces have communicative powers. We may look at a physical entity, like the chair on the left, and realize that there lingers a faint but meaningful association with childhood wonderment, or, as shown with the object on the right, with nurturing stability. This reflective nature of design and the relationship between user and object is where narrative plays a role. It is under the influence of earthly ceramics, the unexpected pigments of stained glass, and the stability of steel and concrete that we feel held and uplifted, bringing us closer to our individual potentials and empathies as humans. A relationship, even one between man and inanimate object, can be giving at one moment and receiving in the next. Something passes between the parts of the whole. This something is intangible but very much alive. It has power to uplift or diminish. Our environment, the color of the bricks, the heights of the ceilings, the lay of the streets, determines our connection to our authentic self. As Alain de Botton says in his book, The Architecture of Happiness, we look to our buildings to hold us like a kind of psychological mold to a helpful vision of ourselves. He goes on to say, we need our rooms to align us to desirable versions of ourselves and to keep alive the important, evanescent sides of us. And how do we bring this to fruition in design? With the oldest craft known to Homo sapiens, the art of storytelling. The internal human themes become the narrative that drive the design. Let's take a look at this in action. This is our family home. It was Andrew Macon, Greg, as you mentioned. It's a concrete and glass house, and it achieves all these things through its narrative of indoor-outdoor living. The brief for this project was to engage, first and foremost, with the garden, with the outdoors. This openness engenders family unity. We can all engage with each other, no matter where we are in the space. We spill out of the space from all sides, and the outdoors flow back in. Because the emphasis is on the outdoors, the interiors are pared back and understated, promoting the feel of a relaxed family home. The cohesion of the architecture and the interior design is successful in this case because of the comprehensive narrative that both the teams were striving for. In this case, the narrative was simple: outdoor living with a relaxed lifestyle. And as a result, it is a success. It is a very uplifting space to live in, and one that brings you closer to a grander vision of yourself. It is interesting that when clients deliver a brief in that first consultation, they always start with what they like and don't like in terms of furniture and colours and styles. I tried to probe for the narrative beyond this. Those misshapen parts of their lives that need balancing out in the building are present, whether conscious or subconscious. And that is the role of the designer or the architect, to discover these themes and make them emerge in a stable and present manner. The framework the client seeks for their internal themes is our job to find. And from here, the project will unfold effortlessly. Here's an example of a holiday coastal home that we did here in KZN. It aligns very much with the narrative of escape and reconnection. The clients live the majority of their lives in the busyness of Joburg, and this family home retreat became an ode to rejuvenation and a remembrance of human purpose. And what other light fixture could we have on the North Coast but a monkey, reminding us who's actually in charge here? The laid-back coastal feel is really brought to life by the materials and the colours. The design is responsive to the environment, the colour of the tiles mirroring the sea opposite. The materials shimmer and glow, creating a sense of sun-filled happiness and a calm, uplifting holiday feel. Along with a well-considered narrative, the project also needs to be harmonious with place, as we saw in the last example, and in this case, of these doctors' rooms. Place became very much the jumping-off point for the design. This was a simple white box with white vinyl floors, no architectural features or outward views. We added some walls to create 2 consulting rooms and a reception area with that built-in bench. The springboard for the colours and materials was the vinyl flooring. We needed something that amplified this modern utilitarian material rather than trying to ignore it. And we also really wanted to follow and explore a fresh narrative for the doctor's room, with the keyword empathy guiding us. We asked, how do we want people to feel in this space? How could the design make patients feel supported, uplifted even? The colour blocking creates a cohesive space that one feels anchored in, secure. The colours are uplifting, they're non-apologetic, unlike the traditional drab, nondescript doctor's room. Feedback from those using the space include the words calming and cheery, emotions not usually associated with a medical suite, and ones that were the starting script for this design. Another aspect of the project we considered was the signage. The oversized door numbers and the large letters stretching across the whole glass frontage really separates the space from the conventional and brings an untraditional energy to the rooms. The signage goes beyond information giving and with its graphic qualities adheres to the modern and updated design objective. This is a building by Mark Bellingham of Common Architecture for me and my husband. It's built on top of a hill, an inner hill, behind our house. The words used for this brief were clandestine, 007 lair, subterranean. Really, we wanted this building to become a sculptural piece in the garden, at one with the land, to tread lightly. Through its shape and use of textures, the building bonds to the land. It looks like it has been there forever, a gateway into the land itself and into this realm of otium. This is a multi-use space. It's my office. It's also a guest room with various parts that tuck away when not in use. It has fantastic acoustics for a party. It has a wonderful view of the ocean, and it's the best space to taste wine in. It's also my art and ceramics studio, and it also has a wine library. The tube skylights that pierce the building and suspend the hefty concrete in a way that suspends the viewer's breath also further connect the structure to the elements and the land, enhancing the sculptural quality of the build. The narrative of this building connects the person to both humbling roots of origin and lofty ideals of potential. It is simultaneously grounding and uplifting. It is at once concealing and revealing. It is more than the concrete. It is a living, flowing, intangible entity and a lucid example of the power of design. I started speaking about the why of narrative, the want to locate and articulate abstract themes in our clients' lives. I have discovered that once the narrative for the project is revealed and interpreted into concrete form, it assists in recovering the lost significant parts of ourselves. It makes our important truths consistently available to us more reliably than our flaky and fleeting internal landscapes. Design, in short, is a means of ensnaring our bigger feelings and capabilities as humans and making them visible. Seen this way, we, as space makers, have a weighty job, one that I rise to with relish. Now, how do I tell all of this to that person standing in the guest toilet looking at their wallpaper? Thank you.